Welcome to Decor channel. This channel presents stylish and elegant fence, home, and garden decoration ideas. We share many inspiring design ideas to help you create a beautiful, comfortable, and charming home. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. A small garden is never truly small when it carries big dreams. This is where transformation begins, not with size, but with vision. Imagine stepping outside your front door and being greeted by a space that feels calm, elegant, and intentionally designed. A rustic farmhouse soul blended with Japanese simplicity creates a balance that feels both luxurious and welcoming. This makeover is about proving that even the smallest front yards can feel timeless and expensive with the right design choices. Stay with me, because by the end, you'll see how simple details create breathtaking impact. A fence is more than a boundary, it's the first promise of beauty your garden makes. Choosing a rustic wood fence with clean lines instantly elevates your small garden into something that feels curated and intentional. Think weathered timber, soft neutral stains, and simple craftsmanship that whispers farmhouse charm. One practical tip: keep fence colors light and natural to make small spaces feel more open. This single choice sets the mood for everything beyond the gate, and what comes next is where magic truly unfolds. Your gate is the handshake of your home. A simple wooden gate with subtle Japanese influence, like horizontal slats or curved edges, feels elegant yet understated. This is where rustic meets zen. I remember installing my first garden gate and how suddenly the entire yard felt complete. One small detail changed everything. Add soft iron hardware for durability and charm. The moment someone opens that gate, they should feel like they're entering a peaceful retreat. And trust me, what they see next will steal their breath. A rustic patio becomes the heart of your small garden. Even a tiny paved area can feel luxurious when layered with texture. Use natural stone or aged concrete for flooring and soften it with warm wooden furniture. One simple hack: choose foldable or compact furniture to keep flexibility in a small space. This is where morning coffee meets evening reflection. A patio doesn't just add beauty, it creates lifestyle value, and the next layer will make it feel even more magical. Japanese design brings serenity into even the busiest lives. Incorporating it into a farmhouse garden adds emotional depth. Use gravel paths, minimalist plant groupings, and intentional empty space. One practical tip: avoid overcrowding your plants. Less truly becomes more. I once overcrowded a tiny yard and felt overwhelmed instead of relaxed. When I simplified, the garden suddenly felt luxurious. The calm you create here will make your entire home feel more grounded. Luxury doesn't have to mean hard work. A low-maintenance garden is a smart luxury. Choose evergreen plants, slow-growing shrubs, and tropical foliage that thrives naturally in your climate. Mulching is your best friend. It locks in moisture and reduces weeds. This is one of the easiest hacks to keep your garden looking polished all year long. The less time you spend maintaining, the more time you spend enjoying. And what's coming next is where style truly meets practicality. Tropical plants bring softness and life into rustic spaces. Think palms, monstera, bamboo, or ferns tucked against your fence. They create visual layers and add movement when the wind passes through. One storytelling moment, I once added just 2 tropical plants to a dull corner, and suddenly that space felt like a boutique resort. Use tall plants in corners and low ones near paths to guide the eye. The next step will teach you how to frame this beauty perfectly. Your entryway sets the emotional tone of your home. Add lanterns, stone stepping paths, and small planters to guide visitors forward gently. Choose warm lighting to create evening charm. One practical tip: solar lights are affordable, easy, and instantly elevate luxury perception. Your small front yard now feels like a curated experience rather than just a garden. But there's one final secret in this section that makes everything feel cohesive. This is where everything merges into timeless elegance. Rustic wood, soft tropical greenery, minimalist Japanese design, and thoughtful lighting come together. The key is balance. Too much rustic feels heavy, too much Japanese feels cold. But together, they feel refined and warm. This blend is what makes your small garden unforgettable. And in the next section, we'll explore how small accessories can quietly transform your garden into something truly luxurious. Luxury lives in the details, especially in a small garden. Think of ceramic pots, stone bowls, bamboo water features, or a simple wooden bench placed intentionally near the gate. These small accessories guide the eye and give your garden character. One practical hack: choose only 2 or 3 accent materials and repeat them throughout the space. This creates visual harmony and prevents clutter. I once over-decorated a tiny patio, and it felt chaotic. When I edited it down, the space instantly looked more expensive. Up next, we'll talk about how lighting can completely transform your garden's personality. Lighting is what turns a garden into an experience. Soft lanterns, warm solar lights, and subtle fence-mounted fixtures create a cozy, elegant glow. In small front yards, lighting also adds depth and safety. One tip: never use harsh white light. Warm tones feel luxurious and calming. I still remember the first night I turned on my garden lights. It felt like a private resort. This is how you extend your garden's beauty beyond daylight and make it unforgettable. A path is an invitation. Whether it's stepping stones, gravel, or wooden planks, a pathway creates flow and purpose. Japanese-style gardens are famous for guiding movement gently and intentionally. One practical tip: slightly curve your path instead of making it straight. This adds mystery and makes the space feel larger. Your guests won't rush through, they'll slow down and enjoy the journey. And in the next section, we'll see how plants can frame this pathway like living artwork. Professional gardens always use layers: tall plants at the back, medium plants in the middle, and low plants in front. This creates depth, even in a small garden. Combine tropical foliage with rustic shrubs and minimalist Japanese greenery. One hack: use pots to add height without planting permanently. This gives flexibility and allows seasonal changes. When you master layering, your garden stops looking flat and starts looking like a designer masterpiece. Small spaces come with challenges, but those challenges spark creativity. Limited room means every choice matters more. I once worked with a tiny front yard that seemed impossible to style, but by using vertical planting and a slim fence design, it became stunning. One tip: go vertical with hanging planters or trellises to save floor space. Your garden doesn't need more room, it just needs smarter design. And that mindset is what makes your space truly special. DIY elements bring soul into your garden. A handmade planter, a painted stone, or a reclaimed wood bench adds warmth and story. These details make your space feel lived in and loved. One practical hack: repurpose old wood into signage or shelves for plants. I once built a tiny plant stand from leftover fence wood, and it became everyone's favorite feature. DIY doesn't mean cheap, it means meaningful. Timeless gardens are built to age beautifully. Choose materials that weather well: natural wood, stone, and clay. Avoid trends that fade quickly. One smart tip: neutral colors last longer and blend with every season. This is how your small garden becomes an investment rather than just decoration. And in the next section, we'll explore how this space supports emotional well-being. Your garden should feel like a sanctuary, a place to breathe, reflect, and feel grounded. The Japanese influence brings calm, the rustic style brings warmth, and together they create emotional balance. I've found that spending even 5 minutes in a peaceful garden resets the entire day. This space is more than design, it's self-care. And now, let's bring everything together. This small garden makeover proves that elegance has nothing to do with size. With a thoughtful fence, a welcoming gate, a rustic patio, and a Japanese-inspired entryway, you create timeless luxury. Every element works together to tell one story: beauty, balance, and intention. Your small front yard becomes unforgettable, inviting, and truly yours.